Hello and welcome to the Deepdale Podcast. It's late July 2026. The sun is still shining here on the beautiful North Norfolk coast. This month I've got two really interesting people joining me on the podcast. First up I have Georgia, who is a mural artist, and we're currently in the planning stage of some new murals at Deepdale, which we'll tell you more about in due course. And then I have my great friend and business partner, Chris Haycock, who is going to get, as you'd expect, very excited about the incredible lineup that he has put together for the Deepdale Festival, which is only about 2 months away. There are over 40 artists playing at the festival, might well get into the 50s by the time he has finished the programme completely. And there is so much amazing music going to be appearing at Deepdale from the 24th to the 27th of September. There will be more podcasts during August where I talk to some of the bands who are actually coming to the festival. Before we dive into the two chats, there are so many amazing events happening on the North Norfolk coast that I really wanted to mention. Our What's On event listing on our website, deepdalecamping.co.uk/events, is groaning. It has got so much in there. There's some incredible exhibitions on at the moment. Everything from the stitcher, the photographer and the painter. That is at the Sheringham Museum at the Mow, which is a fabulous museum if you haven't been to. They came on the podcast a year or two ago. A fabulous place to visit. There's a potted history, 75 years of Holcombe Studio Pottery, which is at Holcombe Estate. The Lynn Chadwick exhibition at Houghton Hall. There's Journeys of Global Textiles, which is at Blickling Estate. And then there are loads of other events. Things like the Pokemon Mega Evolution Trails at various National Trust properties. Journeys, the Global Blickling Tour. Of course, there's the Chroma Pier Show, the summer show, which is one of the last end of pier shows in the country, and in fact in Europe. So you should really try and get to see that. There's things like Small Wonders, a masterworks by Alfred Cohen, and there's just so much going on. And you definitely want to try and catch them. One of the ones that I really love is Whiten 26. Happens in Whiten. It's contemporary art, amazing range of pictures. It's not what you would expect to find in a tiny North Norfolk village, but it's really worth seeing. For kids, there's all sorts of things like Summer Adventure Play Fair, and there's Maze. There's all sorts of theatre and other exhibitions that you can go along to. Wells Carnival is at the end of July and early August. That's a wonderful week of activities and events, all organised by volunteers, and is just a fabulous experience. Just seeing Wells come alive in a wonderful way, colourful, bright, really worth seeing. There's all sorts of brewery tastings, and there's food and craft markets, and there's the farmers markets. You can be part of the Wild Yoga Garden at Dalegate Market with things like ebb and flow and immersive day retreat. There's park runs. There's lots of amazing street food all the way through August, both at Deepdale and the Feast in the Park at Holcombe. There's these amazing charitable events like Trek 26. There's the really enjoyable Fakenham Arts Festival where there's art all over the town, lots of artists involved, lots of businesses involved. Really worth going to Fakenham for a nice wander round and seeing a lot of those. So there is so much going on, but one of the ones I really want to highlight is the open air theatre that we host at Deepdale on the 21st of August. The Pantaloons return for their final visit of the year. They are performing a very funny version of Twelfth Night. So it is open air Shakespeare, but it isn't heavy going Shakespeare. Some people want pure Shakespeare. This isn't for them. This is funny, it's irreverent, it's well worth seeing, and it's really enjoyable. And you can come along, bring a picnic, enjoy the surrounds of the orchard at Deepdale, and enjoy a very funny evening of open air theatre. So that's the 21st of August. You can find all the information you want about all of these amazing events, including the pop-up shops at Dalegate and all the wonderful artisans that are joining us during August. You can find all of that information on deepdalecamping.co.uk/events. Have a look through. If you want specifically the theatre, go to deepdalecamping.co.uk/theatre. But there are lots of other things going on. Have a hunt through our What's On pages, and you will no doubt find a huge number of reasons to come back and enjoy the North Norfolk coast. And we would love to see you. That's what we do. So on with the podcast. Massive thank you for listening. If you do enjoy this podcast, please do leave a review for us on your favourite podcast app or directory, and please do tell your friends and family about our little slice of the North Norfolk coast. We love doing this magazine programme. We love the people who join us on the podcast, and we particularly love those of you who listen to us and tell other people about us. That's the only way our listenership will grow, and we will continue to get some really interesting and wonderful people to join us on the podcast. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the listen.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, a fistful of sandfire, sea, lavender, see you next year.
Hello, my name is Georgia Kossowicz.
So what's the origin of your surname?
So my surname is actually Polish, and yeah, my dad's dad was from Poland and was a war hero, and my family moved here after the war, and that's why I'm here. I grew up in London on a narrowboat, and I moved to Norfolk as a teenager, and I've loved it ever since. I've been here, and I'm an artist now, which I forgot to say in my introduction.
And I bet you have to spell that on the phone a lot.
I do. I absolutely do. And if I'd been better at paperwork, I would have changed my name, because I've actually been married for a while. But I hate the idea of filling in that many forms, so I'm just sticking to Kossowicz and spelling my name out all the time.
Yeah, I think mine is very straightforward, and it's exactly as it's spelled.
Yeah.
But I spend my life having to spell it out, and people come up with variations that it truly amaze me.
Yes.
So we've been chatting about art, haven't we? And I found you on Instagram because there was an amazing little video of you painting a beach hut down at Wells. So tell people about the sort of art that you do.
Okay, so I became an artist by mistake. I had a lovely job in a pottery studio in Holt called Doodle Pots, which I loved. And I'd done some chalkboards just for fun for them. And someone came in, a lovely lady called Ali came in from Rocky Bottoms, which is a seafood restaurant in West Runton, which is amazing, by the way. And she said, "Oh, I've got a little chalkboard. Would you come and do mine for me?" And this was a few years ago. And I said, yes. And I turned up, and it was 8-foot by 4-foot piece of marine ply. It was a mural. So what I thought was going to be an easy job, I ended up doing, and I just loved it. My mum's an artist. I never had the confidence to just go for it. And once I'd done that, people just started asking me. And that was a few years ago. And since then, I've been able to give up my full-time job, which I did love, but I love this even more. And yes, now I'm a full-time artist working in my absolute favourite place, especially in Wells. The beach hut was amazing. So I feel very lucky, and also it's a bit unfair that I've ended up doing it by mistake when lots of people try so hard to do it. But I do feel like it was just, that was how things were meant to be. This was supposed to be my job.
How would you describe your art? Is it nearly all murals?
Yeah, so what I love doing is murals. I just love painting giant things. I don't know why. My brain just works well when I'm painting something really big, and really the only option for that is mural art. I do also do a lot of window painting, which I love because you're just there for the day, painting usually a shop window, and you get to have a lot of interactions with the public. People come and speak to you about it, and that's really good fun. I do chalkboards just to keep myself ticking along, and some paintings, but what I love doing is mural art, absolutely.
And what sort of subject matter do you do? Is it, wildlife, or is it what's the inspiration?
I'm pretty much mostly inspired, I would say, by Norfolk Wildlife. I'm a massive nerd, and I also am on the spectrum, which makes, I think, me even more nerdy. I love wildlife. I used to work for the National Trust. I love Norfolk Wildlife. I love bird spotting, which is a little bit embarrassing to admit, but I do. So most of my inspiration is from wildlife. But I also have an infatuation with the 1970s, psychedelic art and things like that. So I also draw a lot of inspiration from 70s prints, flower power, and my kitchen is fully flower power as well.
Fantastic. And in terms of kind of, how projects come about, is it mainly people find your portfolio in your Instagram and kind of go, oh, I quite like the look of that? And is there a place that people could look to see a range of your work?
At the moment, all I've been really doing is Instagram. And I've got really lucky in that people that find my Instagram, there's not a lot of people on there, but they're all local people. So far, everything I've done has been through word of mouth, which has been, I feel really lucky about. I haven't really put myself out there yet to advertise, and I suppose I will over time. But for now, I've just been going with the flow. And if someone says, oh, I'd like you to come and do this, then I go and do it. And that's been the business plan so far. So far, so good. But I am looking forward to being a little bit more professional in the future and building a website and things like that. But it's very hard when all you want to do is paint all day. So
we've been chatting about potentially adding to the street art here in Deepdale, and you getting involved, and maybe even with the festival. You do other courses and stuff, don't you? So do you do things, is it mainly kids workshops or is it adult workshops?
So in the past, I've loved doing both types of workshops, adult and kids workshops. As I've done more, I've just fallen in love with children's workshops. So I have 2 regular workshops that I run at a primary school in Langham, and I have one where I have 20 children come along. I have a really open-ended session. We have different things they can do, get really messy and really involved in art. And then I also run one which is a very small group of older children who are sort of about 10. And that's where I feel like I can really make a difference in teaching them to make mistakes, to not do things perfectly, and to just do their own thing. Like, the first rule is they can paint whatever they want. I'm not ever going to tell them what to paint. And I'm just there to kind of inspire them and keep them motivated. And that is just the most fun part of my week, I think, yeah.
Well, we're really looking forward to you being part of the offering at Deepdale and Dalegate in due course, and looking forward to seeing the ideas that you develop. Very exciting, and it will be it'll be really interesting to see where that takes us and how that develops. If people want to look at your Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
Yes, so going back to the conversation about my surname, it's not in my Instagram handle, don't worry. It's at make, M-A-Y-K _Norfolk. So make _Norfolk. And that's where you can find me at the moment. And it's the only place you can find me at the moment, but hopefully I'll have a website and all that sort of stuff soon as well.
Brilliant. Well, we'll be listing, and we'll put some photos on our website and our blog so people can find you. Look forward to you being involved here, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been my first podcast, and I can tell I've talked too much, but I've really enjoyed it. So thank you. Thanks very much.
So I'm going to ask you, if you had to pick your kind of 2 or 3 favourite places in Norfolk, what would you choose? So, like, because people, our listeners love to kind of get recommendations that are unexpected. So, popular is good as well. But if you had to pick 3 favourite places, where would you pick?
Okay, well, I have to be careful not to say my absolute favourite place, because what if everyone comes and turns up there? I have to say, because of my earlier conversation, I also have to say Rocky Bottoms. Not for any business reason, just the fact that it's a local family business. Half of the family go and catch the fish in the morning, and the other half prepare the food. I just think that is unheard of nowadays. So Rocky Bottoms is always going to be my number one. I'm a Wells girl, so I think over on the marshes there is a lovely spot where lots of the locals go and swim, and I just love exploring the marshes. If I can borrow a little paddleboard or a kayak from someone, that's amazing. And I think my favourite place in Norfolk is a tiny little woods near where I live called Bolfer Grove. And it's full of bluebells in April. It's the most bluebells I've seen en masse. So it's a very tiny little National Trust spot. No one knows about it. There's no car park. You can't really visit unless you walk there. And it's just my little slice of heaven.
Fantastic. That's great, because those are places that not everybody would have thought of. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. And we look forward to working with you in due course.
Thank
Cheers.
you so much. Thank you.
It's that time of year where everybody else is thinking about school holidays, and Chris and I are thinking about Deepdale full of bands and festival goers, because the Deepdale Festival is back, having had a year off. I think we all needed a year off, to be honest, and Chris missed it horribly. So he is incredibly excited about Deepdale Festival 2026. And he has put together an amazing lineup, and he is about, when I unleash him, to get incredibly excited about the amazing artists he has booked this year. So welcome to Deepdale Podcast, Chris.
No, thanks very much. Good to be back. Good to be back with the festival this year. Yeah, I needed a break last year. I definitely felt I needed a break. I missed it as soon as I announced that I was going to have a break, and then
you missed it before you announced it, because you'd been chatting to Sheila and I, and we were both going, "Yes, you do need a break," and you were going, "But yeah, I could just do another one."
Yeah, but it was the break was good. We put on some lovely live music every month in the Brick Barn, and so that scratched the itch a little bit. But very excited to be back for the festival this September, last weekend in September, 24th to the 27th, full 3 and a bit days.
Yep.
Thursday evening. So our traditional opening night party has just got bigger and bigger over the years, and we love welcoming more and more people come on the Thursday night, which is fantastic, and that's going to be a good one this year. We've got East Angles Brass going to be blasting us out in the Orchard tent to get us going, and then fabulous folk rock from Blackbeard's Tea Party over in the Brick Barn. So that is going to be a really, really exciting Thursday evening.
Yeah, it's not one not to be missed.
It'd be great for everyone who comes along for that Thursday night. And if we go back however many years, 8 odd years, it started off with a very few people, and it's grown into a full night of the festival, and it's a lovely one. It's a really warm and friendly intro night, and we love it. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And it sort of sets the tone, I think, this year. Our headliners are absolutely fabulous. They're decent, nice, large bands on that stage. We've got Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys on Friday. We've got Hope and Social on the Saturday, and we've got Noble Jacks on the Sunday on the Brick Barn, and they are, 3 absolutely brilliant acts.
And are these all acts you've sort of stumbled across at other festivals, or how have you found? I know we've known Sam for a while. He's played at Deepdale in various guises. Yeah. How did you come across some of these bands?
The other two, Noble Jacks, came across because they played as a duo set, supporting Skinny Lister at their gig in London a couple of years ago. Man, the Lifeboats were on that bill as well, and the two of them blew me away. I thought, we've got to invite those up to Deepdale. So got into them through seeing, I suppose, through Skinny Lister, who we had last year, obviously. And Hope and Social, how did we get into Hope and Social? We got into Hope and Social through, that's quite a long story. The short story is, got into it through one of the roadies for IQ, a tremendous prog rock band that we follow for years and years and years. We go to their Christmas gig every year, I do, and the rest of my friends. And got into them through the roadie there, and listened to them, loved them. Then found a couple of people in Norfolk over at the Holt, the Vinyl Vault over in Holt, that knew them. Hooked up with them at one of their gigs in Cambridge, and they were encouraging us to see if we could book them. And we had them booked. They had to cancel, very sadly. Back now, an album out of that experience, Ride, which was the Ride, which was an incredible album, really, really powerful, emotional, just fabulous album. And can't wait, absolutely can't wait for them. They're super, really, really good.
That's very cool.
Yeah, you've got to come along. Norfolk people, you've got to come along for them. And Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys, always a tremendous show. And their last album was really, really good. The more you listen to it, the more you realise quite how good it is. And they're a great band, great band.
It's so nice that these bands, they talk to each other. They and it's become a thing where they're almost approaching you rather than you necessarily having to approach them, or they've heard about it when you do approach them. So that it's
nice.
It's a really lovely process that you're going through, kind of discovering and introducing people to this part of the world.
It makes me really happy that musicians like coming to play at Deepdale. It makes me really happy because it shows that we're doing the right thing, and we're supporting the right people in the right way, I think, to showcase their craft and their creativity. And I love the fact that we're promoting original music, live original music, and we're getting it out there to as many people as we can. And it's lovely. So, we've got this sort of folk rock feel through most of it. Hope and Social cross all genres. You can't listen to Hope and Social album and nail it down. It goes absolutely in every direction, and it's lovely. Noble Jacks, Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys, Blackbeard's Tea Party, and then we've got up from my second county, Cornwall, we've got Three Daft Monkeys coming back to the festival, and they're closing the Orchard out on Friday.
And just so people kind of aware, people who've been before, they understand the layout. People who haven't been before, so we've got 3 stages this year, like we have 4 stages. Sorry, apologies. Yes, 4 stages, because I've forgotten the additional one. So we've got the main stage, which we would describe as the Brick Barn.
Yep.
Then we've got our Orchard stage, which is also a main stage, but it's in a tent on the Orchard in a lovely location, basically at the back of Dalegate Market.
Yes.
Very short walk from Brick Barn, very little bleed between the two, which is lovely. So although you can sit on the Orchard on a quiet afternoon when there's no bands on, and just about hear what's on in the Brick Barn, it's touch and go.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Courtyard stage, which is right next to the Brick Barn, and that never has anything on it if there's something happening in the Brick Barn. And
That's
then
right.
we've got.
Yep.
This year we're going to have a small stage because we've got the Nest in the cafe building at Dalegate Market, who are stalwarts of the festival, having run their horse box with us for a few years, and now the permanent tenants of the cafe at Dalegate Market. They really want to be part of the festival, so we're putting a small stage, like a sort of a solos and duos. out the back of the cafe with a sort of street food fair kind of in the back car park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the cafe stage is going to be sort of Deepdale introducing almost out there.
And we're hoping to work with both the colleges in Norwich and in King's Lynn to try and sort of get some of their lesser known people on those stages, so that they kind of get some stage time and get to know the crowd really.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also going to be using the sitting room this year for a little bit of workshop, sort of.
The Buffalo Bill Showcase.
That's the John Ward Trio presenting their show about Buffalo Bill and when he brought his show across to the east of England. I can't wait for that either. It's going to be slightly multimedia. It's going to be using a screen and some original songs that I've written for it and telling the story. So yeah, that's going to be in the sitting room, along with several other sessions, one of which is going to be Georgia Shackleton in a sort of songwriting, talking about her experience of the Shackleton violin. It was put together and made from floorboards of Shackleton's room, and how she got involved in that project and writing songs with it. And so that's from the Floorboards album, which we've had toured at Deepdale this year, and that's a fabulous album and a really great story. So really looking forward to that, and any other sessions that we get in there.
So who are the headliners on the Orchard stage? So we've talked about the headliners on the Brick Barn stage. Who would you put down as your headliners on the Orchard stage?
Yeah, so the headliners on the Orchard stage, which has this lovely festival sort of
very mellow vibe.
Feel.
It's very nice. Yeah,
it's more acoustic than the Brick Barn, which can be more electric. But yeah, the Orchard stage on the Friday night has 3 Daft Monkeys up from Cornwall. Guaranteed to get the tent dancing, mix of their sort of Balkan rhythms and Cornish folk, and very upbeat and lovely people. Can't wait for that. On Saturday we've got the Shackleton Trio closing out the tent, and again, hugely talented musicians in their own right, and together they just produce some of the best folk music that's come out of Norfolk ever. They're brilliant. They're really brilliant, and they need the acclamation that they deserve. So Saturday night, Shackleton Trio, and Sunday more upbeat and dancing with Brian Stone and the Masters of None. So they're coming back for a second visit. They played a set in the Brick Barn in sort of mid-afternoon-ish, and they'll get the tent moving on Sunday early evening over in the Orchard. So really looking forward to all of those.
We've got 40 plus acts already announced.
Mm-hmm.
We can't talk about every single one of them because we would be here for a month of Sundays, and you get passionate about every single band that you've booked. So I can't unleash you that much. Okay. So you're going to have to pick some highlights that you feel that people really don't want to miss during the festival. I'm going to limit you to 10. Mainly because you always smash my numbers up anyway. Okay, so I'm going to limit you to 10 other bands that you can get passionate about.
Well, obviously on Sunday in our, what we term our Legends slot, we've got Catherine Roberts and Sean Lakeman as well, who we haven't talked about yet. And they are now, I was going to say senior figures. They're superlative figures in English folk now, and we're really, really lucky to have them along in that slot that has had people like Martin Simpson play that slot, and Martin Carthy play that slot, and Catherine Williams. So they are worthy, very well worthy of that slot. So that will be a gorgeous one. In the courtyard, that little courtyard stage, when we close that out of an evening, can be a really nice lively stage. And we've got Willswood Boys coming up.
Some people will have seen them at Deepdale before, and they just went down an absolute storm.
Absolutely. And they're coming up as a trio now. They've got a drummer with them, so we're going to squeeze that into the courtyard stage and in the courtyard, and they'll be playing in there on the Friday night, before Sam Kelly on the Brick Barn stage. And on Saturday, closing that one out, are two great musical friends, Christina and Alex, Christina Auden and Alex Patterson, and we've known them for a long while now, and they're brilliant. They are amazing, yeah. So good. Their last album, Safe Travels, is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece album, and you just never tire of having it on in the car. It is a real travelling song album, and it's about so many things, and their storytelling and the musicality that comes through it is just immense. So I'm really looking forward to that on Saturday in there, and then Serious Sam Barrett coming down from Leeds on Sunday in there. So really good in there. We've got a very, very exciting band who have changed days, so they've had to take an earlier slot with us, but they are playing some soaring shows at the minute. They've been out there touring with Kula Shaker and playing some really big places, and they're coming up to Deepdale. Norwich band Floral Image, and they are superb.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Absolutely superb. And so, yes, they're in a, for all of you sort of scheduling freaks out there, they're in a slightly weird slot, but that is just by virtue of the fact they had to take a really attractive slot the night before then when we had them booked and we had to move it. So they're very kindly coming up on the Saturday and sort of latish afternoon. They'll be great. Who else am I allowed to mention? We've got Honey and the Bear. Honey and the Bear. If you haven't heard Honey and the Bear, they're you just have to just pop their latest album on in the car. It's just brilliant. It is so lovely, so lovely. And they'll be playing with some of the Lost Boys from Sam Kelly's band, and creating a really lovely band sound. They'll be over in the Orchard Tent. And one of our newer discoveries, Neve. Can't wait to see and hear Neve play.
I love her music. It's just wonderful.
We've discovered Neve. She was opening for Sunday Driver, who were playing in Cambridge, Portland Arms, and we went over to see them. Hadn't discovered her music before, and both me and Sheila came out of there thinking, we've got to ask her to play at Deepdale. We absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved her songs. Superb. So really looking forward. I mean, I'm really looking forward to all of them. Absolutely everybody who's playing. But yeah, that's going to be a highlight for us.
Well, yeah, there are
loads. I mean, to be honest, loads more. I could go on.
So many more.
I could go on for a very long time.
Yeah,
about it. You know,
I've got the old poster and it's got a lot of people on it. We should mention, and you've got the new poster, which has got even more, and there's still more to be announced. So I think we're going to be in the 50s quite easily when it comes to the number of acts.
We've got Chris Cleverley, we've got Detta Kenzie, we've got Maddie Morris. You know, we've got George Boomsma. We've got Adam Clark with his trio, his traditional Norfolk folk is really good. It's really good. And we've got Lydia Gluck, who we saw opening for Adam at the Holloway in Norwich. She's sort of late edition, and she is different again. We've got so many so much of a range of artist styles. She sings a lot of a cappella stuff, or solo just with a guitar. Really stunning voice.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning voice. Kyson Point, the Browns are back. Joe and Mary are back.
Toast Poetry are back.
Yeah, Christian Smith, Dan Webster, and Emily Lawler, who haven't played with us before. Just tons. Lancammer up from Bristol, and they're also one of my personal favourites. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
So you have completely smashed the 10 that I said.
Yeah.
But that nobody would be surprised.
Anyone out,
No, I know this is a
problem. Who else have we got? Liv, Sakash. Nikki will be over from Birmingham. Brighter Than. The Whites will be over. as ever. And yeah, I think I've nearly covered them all there. Got them in. Dear Wife is one of our opening acts on the Thursday, and then playing through the weekend as well. The Gillies are coming up from London, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really, really good one. You don't want to miss it. You really don't want to miss it. Gathering all of these artists together for one weekend in our little corner of North Norfolk for a really friendly, happy weekend of amazing live music. Great local real ale, great food trucks. You know,
it's all good.
What more would you want, really? If you like that sort of music, come along.
Fantastic,
please.
Fantastic. And if so if people do want to come along, at the moment accommodation is technically full, isn't it? We have a waiting list.
It is more than technically full.
It is full.
Yeah, it is absolutely
We have
full.
a waiting list, but that's reasonably long. You're very welcome to join that, and we always do have some adjustments at the last minute.
Yeah.
As people forget, they put it in their diary and go, oh, clash, can't do that. So if you want to go on the waiting list, that's great. We also have a list of other accommodation locally. There appears to be more and more sort of Airbnbs in the village now. So if you are sort of hunting around for somewhere to stay, friends of mine have booked an Airbnb because there's a group of them. So there's there are options within a very reasonable distance from us, and we would love to see you. Day tickets are available for anybody who's not staying with us, they're staying anywhere else or live locally. If you live locally, this is an amazing opportunity to see an incredible range of amazing artists right on the doorstep, and you really shouldn't miss out. You don't need to travel all the way to a big festival somewhere else in the country to see amazing music. Come to Deepdale. If you're just in Hunstanton or Fakenham or Wells or Kings Lynn or whatever, this is on your doorstep. Come and see these incredible acts and see them. Tickets range, so you can get individual day tickets. You can get 3-day festival tickets, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you can get 4-day festival tickets, which includes the Thursday evening. But have a look online. There are children and student tickets. It's not a particularly child-friendly event. With children are very welcome, but it is about the music. We don't have huge numbers of other activities going on. It is about the music. So if you enjoy sitting or standing or dancing and listening to great music, then this is the festival for you. If you're looking for lots of kiddies activities, probably not the festival for you. But any child that enjoys music, we'd love them to come and see some of these incredible artists, because it's a very good value and a great way to introduce them to some amazing music. Really amazing music.
And what I would also say about our 3 main stages is that they are all undercover.
Yeah.
They're all undercover, so you're not going to be standing in a field at
getting
the mercy of the weather. We've had some lovely weather at the festival. We've had some not quite so lovely weather at the festival. But everyone is undercover at all times.
Yeah.
And so, just come along.
Yeah.
Come along. You stay dry, seeing the acts. Absolutely. No
Cafe's going to be open, so if you just want some time out and you can go and relax there. The orchard is open all the way through till the last band, so you can nest there like some people do, find your spot and and just relax, or you can set yourself up in the courtyard next to the bar under cover there, and make that your home for the weekend, whatever you fancy, really.
Or you can follow me running between
like
the
a blue ass fly between
introducing
them,
the acts, and you can see every single one if you want.
You won't see all of them, but you will see. But the nice thing is, although there's a slight amount of overlap, well, people always ask this, we don't run a whole act against another whole act. There is a bit of overlap, so you won't see every single song of every single band if you want to watch all of them, but you will see probably 95%.
Yeah.
And that allows you, so it's not a festival where we've got 50 acts and you'll probably see 10 unless you actively only see 10. Basically you could see 50 acts if you wanted to. So it's it's incredible value for the price that you pay. Even if you buy an entire festival weekend, it works out about £2 a band. So that's pretty incredible, really. And this is an appeal to Bandcamp. I really, really want Bandcamp to allow organisers of events to create event pages with lists of their artists, so that when you are on Bandcamp, you can go, right, I went to the Deepdale Festival, can I see all the artists that thing, and see all the albums of all the artists that played at that event. It'd be such a brilliant addition to Bandcamp. And it would be something. Now, on our website, we have a bit of information about all the bands. We link through to them. And if they've got Bandcamp, we link to it. But if we make sure we give you links to all their various websites. But if, an appeal to Bandcamp, please add that facility, because it'd be such a great way of promoting a huge range of bands. Because when you look up Adam, for example, and he's there doing a trio event and he's got a support act, wouldn't it be great to be able to go, I can find Adam, but what was his support act? But hey, there we go. That's just me being a promoter and wanting to kind of be able to tell people about things and get max money into the hands of these artists. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. No, I mean we're all set and ready to go. Everything's in place. We're just final tweaking, organising little bits and bobs towards the end.
The to-do list from today's meeting wasn't too awful.
No, we're all good. I know it's a tough time out there for live music. I know it's a tough time out there for some festivals, and I wouldn't want to downplay or underplay that at all. But we've been doing it a little while now, and
this is our 8th festival. 10 years at Deepdale, 8th festival. This is it's quite nice. It's sort of almost our 10th birthday at Deepdale.
And we do it small scale, sustainably, within our means, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's bring it on.
It's cool. Excellent. Well, we hope you will come and join us. You can find all the information on deepdalefestival.co.uk. The event runs, Deepdale Festival runs from the 24th to the 27th of September, and we're in Burnham Deepdale on the beautiful North Norfolk coast. If you listen out over the next month or so, there will be various bands joining me on the podcast to chat about their inspiration and how they came together, and what their music's like, and that will give you some insights into the festival and to the minds of some of these brilliant artists that we're going to be hosting. So we hope we'll see you at the end of September. Keep an eye on our website. You'll see lots of different interesting events, more gigs later in the year. There's open air theatre, and there's all sorts of other events. So come and join us for some or all of those events, and we hope we'll see you at the end of September.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for listening to the Deepdale Podcast. Lovely to have your listening ears. Really hope you enjoyed the episode. Really hope you'll be joining us for some or all of the amazing events that are forthcoming. Remember, you can dive onto our events calendar anytime you want at deepdalecamping.co.uk/events. If you have the time, we would love you to leave a review and tell your friends and family about the podcast. Dead easy to leave a review. Just head to wherever you get your podcast from your favourite app or directory. Hopefully give us 5 stars and leave a lovely review saying how much you enjoy this little slice of North Norfolk.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, fistful of sandfire, sea, lavender, see you next year.